And welcome. Today we are talking about the best way to teach your child a new letter and doing it in a way that makes it so sticky that your child is so much more likely to remember this letter and to remember the sounds and how to write it and all of it. So we're going to go through the exact process we use inside of our Miss Buddy Reads. This is kind of the boiled down version. Inside of the program, we add in games, we add in extra multisensory things. So we sprinkle in a lot more fun, but this is like the bare bones. If you can do these things, your kids will learn their letters, okay? And hopefully you see it's not as complicated as you might think. It's not as strenuous or time doesn't have to take hours and hours and hours. No, this can be quick. This can be easy. It's a very repeatable system. You want rinse and repeat because your kids should know what to expect. Then they can focus more on what they're learning versus what's coming next, what's happening. It should be a repeatable journey that you go on. It's something you can do over and over. It also makes it so much easier for you. It's so much easier to stick with something when you know exactly what to do from step to step. So here we go. Let's pretend we're learning the letter F. The very first step is you're going to show your child the uppercase and the lowercase letter F. And you're going to say, here we go. This is it. This is the letter F. Can you say F? They're going to say F. F is the name of that letter. The sound of the letter F is F, and you're going to make the sound, have them say it back. Can you say F? Okay, that's step one. They say that, repeat it back, show it to them, repeat it back, say the sound. Here's step two. You're going to focus with them. This is the step so many people leave out. Parents leave out, teachers leave out, but it's the most vital. You are drawing attention to how they're actually creating this sound. So you're thinking about what are their lips doing? What are their teeth doing? What is their tongue doing? And if their buzzer is on, okay? So you're gonna say, okay, let's see it. Let's see, what are our lips doing? Start one at a time. What are our lips doing? Are they touching? No, our lips are not touching. What's our teeth doing? Oh, interesting. Our top teeth are actually kind of hooking onto our bottom lip. Do you feel that? And have them pay attention. Give them a mirror. It's very powerful for them to look at themselves. What about your tongue? What do you feel happening inside your mouth, your tongue? Mine's kind of just hanging out at the bottom. Maybe pushing up on my tooth a little bit. Do you feel that too? Interact with them. Have them notice. Feel your throat. Do you feel your buzzer going off? No, it's not vibrating. My buzzer is not going off. A sound like you can feel the buzzer. If you don't know, feel you're using your vocal cords to make that sound. You're not. So this is an unvoiced, we'd call it unvoiced sound. So your buzzer's not on. Your teeth are touching your lips. Your lips are not touching each other. And your tongue's kind of pushing forward. What you're doing is you're taking them and you're taking their brain and concentrating really hard, really deeply on this sound, making the sound over and over again, thinking about what's going on to create the sound, and they're going to be able to hear it much easier now in words. It's a really powerful way to get letters to stick that you shouldn't skip over. Just taking that extra 1 minute, once you get it down, it takes about a minute. You go through, figure out how to make the sound and notice it, and then you move on. From here is where you're going to take that sound and you're going to connect it to words that start with that sound. Do you hear in fish? Do you notice that your teeth are touching your lip? Now that you've talked about it, you can go into that. Your teeth are touching your teeth are touching your lips. What about in the word frosting? And you can just go through different words. Have them try to think of words. Pick words where F is at the end of it. Do you hear it at the end of, oh gosh, I'm not going to think of a single word that has F at the end of it. Giraffe. There we go. Do you hear the F at the end of giraffe? And then they can go, oh yeah, I noticed my mouth is kind of doing the F thing at the end. And you're training them to really hear this sound. And then finally, so you've talked about the names, you've talked about your mouth, you've talked about the sound and thinking about it in words. Now you're going to practice writing the F. You're going to practice it using consistent language. I'm going to add a bonus tip that I didn't type in here and that I'll type right now, is you're going to make it multisensory. One, it makes it really engaging for your kids. And when I say multisensory, you're getting different senses involved. My favorite thing to do is a sand tray or a salt tray. You can use a Ziploc, or not a Ziploc, excuse me, a Tupperware. Words are not coming to my brain today. Tupperware, a shorter, shallow Tupperware. Put some salt or some sugar in there and they can practice writing in there. It makes it so much fun. That's the number one reason I like to do it. But it also, there's research being done to show that it strengthens the connections as well in your brain. Getting different nerve endings going can help strengthen that connection to and make those letters a little bit stickier as well. So do everything we can to make this sticky. So you're going through, you're using consistent language. And what I mean by this, when we're writing the letter F, you're thinking for the capital F, pull straight down, slide to the right, slide to the right. Whenever I see a letter that has a pull straight down, I say pull straight down. I don't say pull your pencil down or straight line. I say the same phrase every time. You don't have to do pull straight down. You can have your own phrase, but be consistent every time, because then your child's going to get used to that motion. They hear pull straight down, they know what it is. For the lowercase f, I do curve back is what I say for that top part. Start with the curve back, curve back. And now letters like S also make sense because they also have the curve back. They start the same way. So if you can use consistent language with writing, it's going to help them not just with this letter, but when they go on to write letters with those similar formations as well. So being consistent with your language. Inside of Miss Buddy Reads, I have the exact language you use from top to for every single letter. It's a script. You go through it. You know exactly what to say. You don't have to guess at all. And my other bonus tip so those were the big ones. Let me recap. Show them both letters. Tell them the name. Have them repeat it. Go ahead and focus on how they're producing the sound, what's going on in their mouth. Then you're going to connect it to words. Think about where you hear that sound, where you're making that mouth movement in different words. And then you're going to practice writing it using consistent language, hopefully in something multisensory. Even like the back of their arm can be fun. They can make the F, curve back, pull straight down, slide to the right. And that can be really impactful in helping this stick. And my last tip here, repeat it often. Repeat it often. Some kids can learn a letter in 1 to 5 repetitions. They can learn it quickly. Some kids, it will take hundreds of thousands of repetitions. It's just the truth. If you have a child who has dyslexia or another learning difference, it might take many, many repetitions. We give them as many as they need to master this. We want them to look at every letter and know the name, sound, and write it within 2 seconds. Like they don't really have to put much mental effort into it, because then when they go on to read words and write words, they don't have to put all this effort into each individual sound. They've got it like back of their hand, muscle memory. If you are looking for support with this, check out inside of our Miss Buddy Reads program, all of our step 1 is master letters. Our entire step, there's 5 steps to becoming a fluent reader. Step 1 is mastering letters. And we go through every single letter, including digraphs. So ch, sh, f, and the fancy WH. We go through those and teach all these steps. And like I said, we sprinkle in games, we sprinkle in decodable stories, we sprinkle in all these other things to make it super fun and engaging for your kids. And we do all the teaching for you. And we make it wildly fun for your kids. If you are interested in checking out, I want you to check out Miss Buddy Reads today, because it will accelerate your process. Doing this by yourself, you can 100% can. Take all these tips and do it yourself. You absolutely can. But if you want to accelerate it and make it easier for yourself and spend time enjoying and just cheering your kids on instead of having to prep and plan and get things ready, let us do that for you. And you can sit back and enjoy. So go ahead. I'm going to have more information about Miss Buddy Reads in the description. Grab your seat today and let's get your kids mastering every single letter so they can become a strong and fluent reader. Thank you so much for joining me.